Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you again with another video. All right, so last night I made a video that meant a whole lot to me. It's a point that I've reiterated a lot of the times, and I mentioned players like Romeo Langford, Bol Bol, Kevin Knox, of whom I want to see just get in situations that allow them more playing time so they can show what type of prospects that I know them to be after doing homework on those players and several others around the league who just don't get the playing time that I feel they can use to be their best selves. And if they would maybe get that playing time, they would be able to help those franchises so much more than maybe the players they have in place getting those minutes. So I read something today. Don't know how true it is, but I'm hopeful that it is true. Bol Bol it has been reported that he has requested a trade. He does not appreciate the role that he's been given. He was the reason why I made that video last night, because I looked at the box score of the Denver game. It was halfway through I think it was the second quarter, to be completely honest with you. So the game still hadn't really been played all the way through, but I'm looking at the roster. I'm looking at guys who were playing so. I'm looking at how the game ended up going as it ended. And ultimately, he didn't get the playing time he should have been getting to help that team. I think they got the win. I think they won by one. But my thing is, I just feel like that particular player is such a fantastic mismatch at the two guard spot, because he's tall, long, but he plays like a guard and he's comfortable in the perimeter. So I don't know what type of system he can't play in. You're not going to tell me he's a defensive liability, because clearly he has length. And we're seeing players like Mo Bamba and Evan Mobley step out on the floor right now just because of their length and their ability to play the game, are getting all kinds of stats. And I just look at Bol Bol as one of those exact prospects who I would love to have on the Lakers playing as a guard for us. I would love to have him playing as a forward if he wanted to play for the Lakers. You know what I mean? I think any team in the league with any type of sense would want Bol Bol on the team. And I just feel like he's a big time prospect who's not being treated like he has the upside that I ultimately believe he has. It's I don't know why things are done the way they're done. My thought was that maybe it's because they've paid certain players and they have to justify those contracts. I was adamant about that point last night, but there are many reasons why certain players get certain minutes, and a lot of it has to do with things that the fan is not going to know. So my speculation aside, I just want to see these players who deserve the minutes, who I know are productive players, get those opportunities that maybe some of the other players are getting as well. I want to see everybody get opportunities. That's why I'm a big proponent of the NBA expanding maybe to 32 teams. I grew up on 32 teams. It seemed like the league was balanced, a little better in that regard. I think at this point, with the influx of talent that we're getting and the limited space that's out there, we should be considering that and possibly expanding the All-Star game with 2 extra spots. That's something I've been thinking about as well. We just haven't been able to honor players who've played well enough, or who should be there, just because we have so few spots. And I think as we're expanding and seeing more quality talent come into the league, we need to react to that. So that's one thing that I'm looking at. But until then, you gotta move along. Look, if a guy isn't productive for several years in a row and he's already been in the league for 11, 12 years, hey, I want to see the youngsters behind him get the opportunities that he's getting. I respect guys putting in their work and to have the cachet to be able to hang around this league. I respect guys just knowing the game and experience and how well that can help your team. I'm looking at a guy like Avery Bradley, who's saving our backsides right now, and he's in that category. So I'm not saying you take those players off the floor, but I'm saying if you have a high level prospect like Bol Bol or Romeo Langford or somebody like that, who I know just needs good coaching and opportunity more than anything, so that some guy who's not as productive as a guy like Avery Bradley has been for the Lakers get a chance to play, because to justify his contract for $25 million or $40 million or whatever that guy may be making, that may be questionable for the production that he may have been giving the last couple of seasons or what have you. So, it's a lot of that stuff I'm sensing is happening, and I'm calling for players to find themselves in better situations. That's really my goal. I've been watching the basketball for a long time, and I just understand that a call for balance as it pertains to weeding out some of the things that don't allow players to display who they are and what they are about as basketball players consistently. I want to see that get to a point where you just get more out of the players that are coming into this league with high upside. And again, expansion is the way to go. That's ultimately the biggest way to kind of spread that out to assure certain players. Look at a guy like, and I don't want to single anybody out because it's so early in the season. I don't know what type of opportunities they're going to get. But I looked over Atlanta. Johnson, he's not getting the playing time. I look at another guy in Atlanta who they picked up who has high talent, their point guard that they just got in the second round, who I know is one of the best facilitators in basketball today. He's not getting playing time. So it's like I know Atlanta's one of the deepest teams in the league. And it's still early, so I don't want to single them out. But I look at them being 3-3, and then I look at the players who are not playing, and I look at who's playing, and I say, that's the problem. That's the problem, coach. That's the problem, Atlanta. And you're going to see that a lot. But it's like, it's a long season, so you got to be patient. I know that, as somebody who watches the game and doesn't play it. It's 82. You don't want to throw guys out there too early if their conditioning isn't there yet. There's always reasons for everything. But what I saw in the preseason and the summer league from those particular players in Atlanta, and then I look at seeing who they're playing and who's getting the bulk of their minutes, and it's just respectfully a guy that fits the criteria I'm talking about. Just a guy who's making some money, but not really. And he's the first guy off the bench, but he ain't really did nothing over the last 10 years to justify playing him over those high-level prospects who are going to ultimately make you the deepest team in the league, as I said you are. So, trusting that coaches know what they're doing is important for people like myself, but also acknowledging that something needs to be done to see if these prospects get these minutes is also something I'm going to do. So, yeah, that's how I feel, man. Get these kids, some of these dudes are real good, and you're going to let them walk out of your door. We've seen this movie many times where you just don't trust that a prospect's going to turn into who you think he's going to be. He goes to another franchise, and bam, look at him. He's turned into something else that he could have been for you. So, trying to help in that regard as well, trying to save these organizations from overthinking sometimes. Not that they're going to listen to me, but I think I'm right. Sometimes basketball, for example, and I'll harken back to a player by the name of Grant Williams. All the talk about how Grant Williams' game is back to the basket and he's not fit for today's game. But he gets out there and he's a gamer. He's one of the better guys off the bench for the Boston Celtics. You just got to give him an opportunity to develop the skills that he needs to develop, continue to work on the things he's ultimately good at, and let a baller ball. Let a gamer get out there and show you that he can make himself useful on the court. And I think there's a lot of opportunities like that are being taken away from guys because they may not get off to good starts or stuff like that or what have you. So it can suck, man. The decision of a coach to play it safe because he's concerned about his own job, or the decision of a GM or what have you, different things like that will really set a guy's trajectory so far off of where they need to be. Or just philosophy. Well, we need to go small. No, you need to take the player that has the high upside and develop him so he can be his best self. And I just wonder if the responsibility of these organizations to do that is actually being the word enforced probably isn't right, but is that being put enough emphasis on? And that's my point of view. Develop the players. I want to see more of an emphasis on organizations developing players, and I give kudos to the NBA as a whole and Gatorade and their affiliates for the G League. I love what they're doing with that. I think that is very much a solution to the type of things that I'm talking about. And it's not a shameful thing for a guy to go to the G League to get some run. If you need 30 minutes and they ain't giving you nothing, go down there and kill some guys in the G League. Kevin Porter did it, and look where he's at now. So there's no shame in that. Even if you know what I'm saying? Even if I can murder these guys in the NBA, I'm just not getting the opportunity. Go down there, show them what your skills are. Take the Kevin Porter route, and you still get the bag just the same. I promise you still get it. I think a guy like Bol Bol, if this trade situation doesn't fall into place for you, kill the freaking G League, bro. I know you're going to put up big numbers down there. I know it's beneath you and the caliber of your player to do that, but it's about the run. I'd say the same thing to Ben Simmons. If you don't want to run with Philadelphia, but you need to run with somebody, get out there in the G League and just kill people. Kill people. That's how you raise your trade value, Ben. That's how you do it. I ain't playing for Philadelphia, but I'll destroy some scrubs, average 20 assists, or whatever, if they can make the shots. But I'm going to be looking to facilitate and stay as healthy as possible. I ain't jumping off the floor too much, but I'm doing my cardio, and I'm showing people that my facilitating skills are superior to all mankind, because that's ultimately what Ben Simmons believes himself to be. And Not enough of an emphasis on the things that he does great are given to him because the fit that he's been in doesn't allow him to actually display those gifts properly. If he were in a system like, say, Charlotte or Chicago, where everybody around him is running, or maybe Sacramento, where everybody around him would be running, I guarantee you will see that facilitating gift that Lonzo and Zoe, his brother, of course, Melo, and various guys like Ricky Rubio are showing us right now. That's Ben's greatest gift, and you can't really show that when everybody stands still in the half court. But his defensive gifts are always shining. That's something else he can show the G League. And the only reason why the G League is a solution for guys like that is because you don't love the situation you're in or you're not getting the opportunities. That's it. It ain't about learning nothing. It ain't about because you need to develop nothing. No, it's just about making sure you can stay in shape going up against grown men. Because that's all that play basketball at a professional level, because that's the only way you're going to be able to stay in shape, game shape. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what any player who's sitting on their backside, including guys who are well past that era, that's how you stay in shape in 2021, 2022. That's how you do it. John Wall, they're not playing you. Remember Andre Drummond's situation last year when he was out for like 3 months? That's how you stay in game shape, because we all know you can't stay in game shape by just being in the gym. You can't stay in game shape by being at home doing push-ups. Basketball is the only way to stay in basketball shape, and I think that the G League is starting to be a place, especially with Ignite coming along, when all the prospects who were, first picks and second picks in the drafts are there. You can get some real run now, You can get some real run against the G League guys. So that's what I want to encourage all athletes who watch me. Don't feel nothing about going to the G League. It's a means of staying in shape at this point. So that's what I got, man. Yeah, my name is BDF44. I'm encouraged by Bol Bol. Hopefully that is true. If it's not true, I hope that a good coach like Malone is able to have the freedom to play the players that he believes he should pay. Because I don't always think it's the coach's decision at the end of the day for guys to get, especially when you look at a team like Denver. Mind you this, they have paid people. They have paid people that maybe they shouldn't have paid. And now they got to justify those contracts by giving those guys playing time because, of course, that's what they paid for. A guy like Bol Bol hasn't been paid yet, so it doesn't cost them nothing to sit him, even if it doesn't benefit them. Why? Because, again, if the goal is to justify something and not necessarily bring yourself to the best possible winning situation, for which I'm accusing them of if you ain't going to play Bol Bol, now that I know what type of prospect he is, then it's gonna help your team suffer. And I'll tell you this, Denver shouldn't be doing that. I respect Denver as an organization. They got way too much talent to be playing these little games. It's time to win. Bol Bol is one of the best players on your team. Cut and dry. I'm tired of playing around. Let's just be real. He's top 7 player on your team. You got some great guys. I'm not going to name them out because I got respect for people, but they ain't better than him. He ain't better than him. He ain't better than him, and he ain't better than him either. So let's cut this out. I can't say that about Kevin Knox because he hasn't shown me that. Even though I feel the same way. I can't say that about Romeo because he hasn't had the opportunity to show me that. But Bol? Come on, fam. You know who his daddy is. Stop playing. Anyway, my name is BDL44, and I'm out.